We had a lot of movies that we've seen, but in my opinion, this is the best out of all of them, out of all the ones that we've seen. The acting was great. There's not a lot of goofs in this movie. Is It's a all rounded movie, and I felt what do you call this? I felt it was a sad, dark movie, and I felt that
It is
after
a
watching
very
it. Hello, and thank you for listening and watching to your favorite podcast. This is the Maximum Filipino Show. You're probably wondering why I keep saying that in every beginning of every podcast, because I have to. Just have to say it. But anyway, welcome. We're doing Afterflicks. Afterflicks is it's a reflection. It's a review of a ton of shows and movies from subscribed original applications or programs, not programs, but sites such as Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. Right now, as you can see in the title, we're doing a Netflix original. This is The Devil All the Time. Let me just give you guys a head start or heads up. This is gonna be a little unusual than the regular Afterflicks that we're doing, which is, we have categories like who's your favorite characters and things like that. This is gonna be a non-formal podcast per se, because we're just gonna talk about the movie in general and what we think, and maybe you can put there your favorite characters. We don't really have any, and we can talk about that further, but there's not really like a main character in this movie, I would say. But yeah, let's start with so right now, as you notice, we have Jed in the podcast. Jed, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
welcome back from the grave.
Yes, that's right.
Welcome back.
She was totally missed. We miss her so much, and I mean that.
I mean it.
I
You see,
Yeah, I mean that.
told you what I said the last time. It's not TMFS, but when you're here, it's TMFS.
Suck up. Okay.
Well, fuck
Anyway,
his face right there. You gotta zoom that.
all right. And a big announcement: Wakka is not gonna be a guest on the show.
Yeah, no longer.
Yeah,
I know.
he's
Taken.
not. He's
Sad
not a
guys.
guest.
Really mad.
Because he's gonna be part of Team FS. He's officially part of the
Yeah.
Maximum Filipino Show. And you're probably
Yeah,
wondering,
glad to be
well,
officially on.
right? And you're probably wondering, well, he's not Filipino. You don't know
Yeah,
that.
I am the
So
non-Filipino
you
guy.
don't know if he's Filipino or not. You don't
That's
know
true.
that.
I don't know
Um,
that.
Right.
Yeah,
A friend
you
of
don't
mine
know
really
that.
thought it's Filipino.
Yeah, he's more Filipino than a lot of Filipinos. I'll tell you that. But yeah,
Likely.
he's an official host now, or part of the Maximum Filipino Show. So
Yes,
anyway,
I am.
how do you feel, Waka? What do you think?
Happy, honored, glad to be on board, and
Yes.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I just hope I don't bite anybody. Um, yeah, so glad to be on board, y'all.
Waka is
We'll
like a
try to
snake.
stay away. Yeah.
He's like a
Thanks-
snake. He doesn't bite.
Thanks
He
for the
will just
warning.
eat you alive. You know what's funny though? Like, we're so close in TMFS, but we've never seen each other. Like, the only person that I've seen
Right.
in person is just Waka, but none of us. All the people that you see in the intros, we've never seen any of them in person. I don't even know if they're for real. I don't know. Maybe Jed is a CGI and she.
Well, that's a little bit up there, but okay. But I hope one day that we all get together and I don't know, kick it. I don't know. I look forward to that.
Right.
Yeah.
That has
Yeah.
always been the plan.
That's always
Right,
been the plan.
TD?
That's right. That's always been the plan. We're all over the world, so that's kind of
Yes.
hard. But anyway, like I said, we're talking about the devil all the time. It's not the best movie. It's also not the worst movie. Actually, I'm gonna say this. To me, it's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. But what do you guys think? Let's start with a newcomer.
Okay. Jet, the newcomer,
Jet, the
welcome.
newcomer. Yeah, welcome to our podcast.
The newbie.
The newbie. Yeah. Amateur moment. What do you think? What do you think about this movie?
Okay. Honestly, I watched the film twice. The first time I did, I wasn't really paying attention too much because I was working. Well, the second time I was working too. But it was only the second time that I get to realize what the movie.
Wow. So
Yeah,
you
mine
spent
was
4
like-
hours?
You have 4
Yeah,
hours.
it was like
Oh.
you're not. No, I did it like
Wow.
a couple of days ago, and then I did it yesterday. So he was like, "You're not done with that movie yet?" And I said, "I actually finished it the first time. It's just that I didn't know what I was watching."
Oh my gosh, yes.
Anyway, if you're gonna watch this movie, make sure that you're not doing anything and make sure that
Mm-hmm.
you're all eyes and ears on it. Because if you're doing multitasking, you definitely like, okay, was it finished? You know,
Yeah.
you would have that reaction. But then if you're a fan of, you know, all the talking and all the like narration and
Mm-hmm.
stuff,
Mm.
then yeah, this is probably your movie. And it explains well because this is actually based from this novel.
Mm-hmm. A book named
Yeah,
A Devil
from
All the Time.
I knew it.
from
It was based on
Holland.
Mm-hmm.
a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's the Devil All the Time book. So there.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it
What?
was
What?
fine.
Okay. All right. Did you enjoy it at least?
Um, n- okay, enjoying it is not really the word.
Not in a
I would say
sexual way.
Oh,
That's not what I meant.
appreciated. Yeah, I appreciated the movie.
Not in a sexual way. That's not what I meant.
I did not enjoy it in like
In any shape or
no
form.
part of it is, you know, no part of it is fun at all.
mm,
That's crazy.
But I
mm,
appreciated the movie. I mean, I appreciated it because
mm.
it talks a lot about mental
Mm,
torture.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big deal. It's, and, you know, it's the real deal. It's like truth. Yeah.
I, yeah.
How about you, Waka? What do you think?
I think the director of this movie did a great job of irritating me. I mean, I was like a country bumpkin story, and then I mean, the fact that it was irritating because it's somehow true. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, though it's maybe exaggerated in some sense because it's a movie thing, they like to do that kind of stuff, but in real life, some of these things are true and irritates me. It just make me have, as we all know. Okay, I mean, AJ definitely knows. Not to make this all spiritual or anything. I'm a Jesus believer, and I hate the fact that they make them look like a freaking bad guy. And I'm like, this director really did a great job irritating me. But the fact that he did, I mean, because that's the point of a director of putting a movie. It's meant to get your reaction. Did a great job.
Yeah, to get your
Um,
attention.
exactly. And I mean, I just felt bad that all this is really happening on uh well, not really happening, but it happens. It happens. This is a state that barely no one knows. Ohio, and what was the other state that I mentioned? Was it West Virginia too? Ohio and one of those states. But
Oh,
like
yeah,
out
it's
in the
Ohio
sticks.
and West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is out in the sticks, and
Yeah.
it just tells you a lot about in the countryside where if you lack knowledge, I mean, if you're ignorant about what goes on, you get, I don't know,
Well, to
you end
answer
up
your
dead.
actually to answer your question, I thought about this. Why after watching the movie, I was like, why is the title "The Devil All the Time"? And then I looked it up. Actually, the reason why the title is "The Devil All the Time," it's more of a trivia,
Mm.
is it's basically saying that there's nothing that involves God in it. It's all the devil. Every ideas that they had and actions that they made, it's all the devil. So it's the devil
In
all
this,
the time in this
yeah.
So
movie.
it's basically just
So
blaming.
No,
right,
no,
it's
everything
no,
is
it's
done by the devil, like inspired by the devil, like telling them, remember
Oh,
the preacher stabbed his wife because that's because of the devil. The preacher
right.
and with the kids, that's because of the devil. It was the devil all
Yeah,
along doing the whole
the,
thing.
the devil is among us. You know, it's just everywhere. No matter how religious you are, you
Mm-hmm.
know, no matter how close you are to God or whatnot, whatever you believe in, the devil is just there. You know, um, it's about religion and
reality.
psychology.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh
psychology.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess that explains because this is after the World War II, right? I mean
Mm-hmm.
that was their excuse that this was after the World War II. But I I mean, this really happens. This happens
Mm,
to, some people, and then we have these kinds of serial killers, the fake preachers and whatnot, the abusers. We all
right.
have this, but I guess this movie just focuses on that, on the negative part of, the worst that could happen to someone who has mental illness. And if you think about it,
Mhm.
it's all not. I mean, the characters are all sick.
The
They're
characters are
so
all what? Sick?
Fake
Oh,
they're
sick.
sick. They're
Yeah,
or
yeah,
nuts.
sick.
God, we
yeah.
have the serial killer. We have, the one who's so devoted with religion, the
Mhm.
one who killed his wife.
Mhm.
And there's this the preacher who's an opportunist who, um,
A
I'd
molester,
say,
basically, a
yeah,
pedophile. Yeah.
Right.
right. We also have this the sister who wasn't supposed to commit suicide, but
Right.
She
accidentally.
accidentally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That one. She also has her mental problems. Even who's the guy, the main character?
Tom Holland.
Tom
Yeah.
Holland, Spider
Yeah.
Man,
What's his name there? But anyway, he also has his
Harvey.
yeah, he also has his mental problems due to childhood experience.
Trauma.
He had
That's
the
something.
trauma. His
That's a hard
father
thing to
as
remember,
well.
man.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, almost all of them, I'd say.
Almost all at one time. I mean, they just buried their mom. I mean,
Right.
And
and
the dad killed
then
the dog. So the whole premise of the story, the whole premise of the story is basically what the writer of the book, the novel, and the movie's trying to say, that this whole thing was that because of the devil. It's the devil all the
Yes,
time. Now my
done by the
problem,
devil.
yeah, my problem is, maybe in my first view of this movie, a viewing of this movie, I don't think the director and the writer brought that idea out of the movie, and it's because we have this whole thing in the whole thing in our society that, I'm not saying all the time, but a lot of people believe that religious people are bad. They cause all these things, and there's some controversies in among Catholicism, and things like that, like scandals. And so it made me feel that, oh, this movie is portraying that God is evil, or people that serves for God are evil, and they're doing all these
Yeah,
things.
because it's focusing on the bad side of
Yeah,
religion.
right. And
How,
but so
how
it's not
religion can make a person so bad.
right. So it's not, the movie didn't. In my opinion, the movie didn't do a good job of telling people that this is the devil all the time. Like that, the whole premise of the story is, it's not God, it's the devil telling them to do all these things.
Right.
right. I mean, I guess the preacher himself didn't really do a great job in that. I guess in this movie, you're right. It didn't really portray that it's the devil's fault. So it's just probably
Yeah.
focusing on man's weakness or
Mm-hmm.
man's vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Um, because I mean, I guarantee the movie didn't really didn't carry out everything that the writer or the author has written in the book. As we know, they either directors from movies either omit it or add on to it, or just really, go sideways from the story. Um, but what I was getting at is that the narrator played a role that made it, because I guarantee you, without the narrator helping little bits and pieces, you would think maybe it could be a personal issue or a spiritual issue. Because, like, for example, okay, we wouldn't have known that the guy was in the closet for 3 days, but the narrator has said it. He's been there hiding himself in there for like forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then part of me thinks, because of his stress on the body, not having enough sleep, yelling whatever his heart out, he might have hallucinated of thinking he heard God's voice that told him to go murder his wife and then bring her back to life.
Resurrect
Um,
her.
yeah, so part of me believe that it's a psychological, like you guys mentioned, psychological issue, it's a health issue. It wasn't a religion issue. He was hallucinating. He didn't have enough to eat. Well, maybe he did because his wife did provide food, but
Right.
Or maybe the spider bite. It's because
or
the
the
cost.
spider bite gave
Yeah,
him.
the
Yeah,
the,
that's
But
the
right.
even
venom.
before, I'd say even before the spider
I
bite,
think so
you can
too.
really tell from his character that there's really something going on in there. You know, I was like, okay,
Spider
this
Man.
guy is a psycho. Like the moment he was
Yeah.
preaching, and then he was believing that God will give him the strength, the bravery,
Who knows? Some
that God
miracle
will take
power.
away his fear. I mean, yes, God can help you like strengthen your faith in yourself and all that. But I mean, just really going on with the spiders was just way too much. But it happens. You can see that with other religions, with other preachers, they do that. I don't know if you guys have seen videos of people, trying to pretend that they are resurrecting someone, they are like healing someone. I mean, those are nuts. Like they have this, crazy religion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else? Like, and you're right about they haven't done a good job about like delivering it to the audience that this is the devil's doing all the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm,
Because if you watch the movie, you can really it would really give you the impression that religion is not good, because religion is going to give you all
Right.
this crazy stuff in your
right.
head,
Right.
but if they have focused, probably if they have focused on how he turned mentally ill, or how was he as a person before he was a preacher, or
Mhm.
things like that, then probably we would know that, okay, this guy has some serious problem. And then and anyone who has mental issues, whatever you believe in, would either help you or it will make you worse. I mean,
Right.
if you believe in something so much and you already have, the mental issues, it's just gonna, worsen your problem. Like
Yeah.
this guy here,
Yeah.
right?
So he has nothing
So
to do. He has nothing to do with his religion or his belief.
no, it,
Um.
it was there all along. It,
Right.
it he was already nuts before that.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I was just gonna say it's just most of this has to do with a lot of ignorance, a lot of sickness, probably psychological sickness.
Yeah,
But then again, this is out in the sticks. This is not like in a city where things are. Um, you
that
can,
too.
yeah, this is out in the
That,
sticks where people just makes up things of what they. Well, I can't really say. I've never been on the countryside, but it makes sense to me that
yeah,
it's just a lot of ignorance, a lot of psychological sickness, or
right.
uh, lack of resources. I don't know. I mean, these guys
Yeah.
were didn't have enough to
mm-hmm.
go by.
Imagine how those people from that community, when they brought food for the new preacher, and how they're so devoted with religion, because they don't have much resources, and they don't get to like know what's really going on in the real world. So they have they just worry about their community and what's going on around. So they just, I don't know, probably just do little. I mean, they're just probably staying home and then going to church, just the usual. So
Mm,
they focus more on their religion because they have more time for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's one, and that's the reason why this sister was molested by the preacher, because she's ignorant. I mean, she
Right.
thought she was doing right.
Right. No,
She
because
thought,
the
yeah.
because the daughter
The,
was same thing with her mom. They both had fascination
too,
with preachers and spiritual leaders.
that too.
mm,
Yeah.
But if
Um.
she was, imagine if she was, what do you call it? If she was exposed to, like, the city life and all that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's just going to follow her mother's footsteps, because
right.
Well, you should also consider
may
that
not
they're
be.
right. You should. I think I would consider her being young, and I tell this to people all the time because kids can easily
Young and
manipulate
naive.
it. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're naive, and it doesn't matter where they're from. It's just once you give them some or once you impress them, it can be anything. It can be money, it can be knowledge, wisdom, or
Uh,
anything. You can easily manipulate them.
Right. But that's
uh,
the lack of, because there's the lack of parenthood for her
Mm-hmm.
and her half brother Tom,
Well,
because
they're not siblings at all. They're not even related.
they're half. Why when he was introduced to Lenora, the grandmother said, "Your half sister."
No. She was
That really
introduced to
got me
no. She
confused.
was introduced to Tom Holland so they can be together, like get married.
Oh,
Yep.
so they were introduced that way, but
Mm-hmm.
they weren't really
They're
related at
not
all.
related
But
at all.
how is
No, not Tom
what's
Holland. Not Tom Holland. The main
the
guy. His
father
dad.
of
Tom Holland dad. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Tom Holland's
the
dad. Yeah,
father of Tom Holland? What's his name? What's his name again? The veteran.
veteran. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know his name,
Veteran
but
His name is
I'll
Willard.
pull it up.
It's Willard.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, Willard.
Willard. Yep.
How is Willard related to Lenora's mom?
None. So
No, they were just church members.
yeah, they were just church members
Why
because
did she receive the postcard from? Why was she the one reading the postcard that Willard sent to
Okay.
Willard's mom?
I think there's a little bit of confusion because there was a lot of back and forth with the scenes. Like here's a scene
Yeah,
about
right.
what happened here, and then a flashback of how it all came to this.
right.
So it just coincidentally happened that when she happened to be at the house
Oh.
when the mom, the
Oh,
veteran.
I guess she just left the baby because
Yeah,
they're
because
going.
they're leaving, so she wants someone to watch the kids, and I think
I see.
I assume that the
Probably
mom
they're just neighbors.
no the mom does not know how to read, so she had her
That's
read the
true.
postcard. I think
That could be.
that's what
That could be
happened.
true. Right,
I
right.
think that's what happened, but they're not related at all. Cause when Willard came home, after she stopped by at the diner and he met her future wife, he said to her, to his mom that I met a girl, and things like that, and then his mom said, "Oh, I want you to meet this girl at the church," and then they sat right next to each other because
Yeah,
they're
that's what
supposed to be
happened.
they were supposed to be together, but the girl fell in
Right.
love with the preacher.
The
With the
preacher.
preacher. So
I see. They could be in
speaking
just
of
one community, but
Yeah.
not related at all. Okay.
two scenes that kind of one creeped me out. The other was I just forgot the second scene. That so I remember now. The first scene, that the guy was crazy enough to pour all those spiders all over his face, and
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep.
I got that little gross goosebumps feeling when I'm like, how? And then the second one is that who's the new preacher that took over the church, the molester?
Yeah.
Mr.
Robert
Twilight.
Preston. Yeah.
Yeah. Who thought it was weird that everyone just stared at the priest picking up the food? I don't know if that's a traditional thing or anything like that. You know how they all brought the food and all of them stop and stare for him to pick up, like serving himself? I thought it was a little bit awkward.
I think it's more of like a courtesy. Like, since you're the guest, we'll
Right,
we'll
right.
let you get the food first, or as a priest or something like that, we'll let you get the food.
Wakka, that's pretty common in the Philippines.
Oh, yeah.
Like if we have a visitor, especially if you're foreign or if you're from somewhere, and then you come in and you're, because that time he is the special visitor. I mean, they really brought the food for him. It's for him. It's like a gift and offering for him. So they'd be like,
Okay.
they're like, yep, they're like watching or expecting what's going to be his reaction with the food, or the gift that they have offered or whatnot, and that happens in the Philippines. Like if you invite someone and they'll be checking, especially if you're the one who cooked the food, and you'd be like, is he gonna like it?
Well,
You
at
know?
least less
Is he
awkward.
gonna take the food that I brought?
I believe it. You're right. So, I mean, in the same culture as us and PH culture, because I experienced it myself, the hospitality and courtesy is phenomenal. And it's wonderful and warm, welcoming, but less weird because everyone just stared and it's like,
Right.
like
Right.
this is my picture of them just looking at him just like this.
Right. Or some kid in the background's like, "I'm hungry. Just pick up the food already, so we can, we can
Right.
finally grab the food and eat." Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you, Wakka. Your mic is down.
You're right. I mean, what I'm saying is that if anyone's paid attention to the surrounding scenes, they had tables ready. I mean, at least everyone sat down first, and then
Right.
I mean, a little less awkward. I would have felt awkward. Everyone staring at me, picking my food. I would have said, "Come on, join
Right.
me."
Speaking of which,
Well,
the spider. Yeah, go ahead.
If it was somebody else, he would probably say, "No, come on, join me."
Right.
But he is the self-centered
Yeah,
Well,
creature.
he's the
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like, I want everybody's attention all the time. It's all me. He is that character.
So
okay.
by the way, the Roy the spider guy,
That spider
he
guy.
that was actually real spiders. Those were real spiders.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Yep, those were real spiders, and he was okay with it. He said, "I'm okay putting real spiders on my face as long as they're not snakes." So those were real spiders
Okay,
crawling
in
on
that
his
case,
face.
that the spider going into his mouth, was that real? Because I
Yep.
saw one just jumped right. I mean, went
I see. I don't
to his
know.
mouth.
I don't know if that
I
part
was
is
so
real,
scared
but
it would go inside his nose.
right. But they're saying that that whole scene was real.
It was real.
Those are freaking real spiders.
Yep, I
Oh,
know.
crap.
Yep.
Anyway,
Isn't
since
that
we're
crazy?
talking about facts, the narrator of this movie is also the author of the
Yes.
of the book.
Oh,
Yep, that was the very first time he did that.
Right.
Hmm.
So,
Mhm.
then whatever was going on in the movie, or whatever they put in the movie, has the author's say. I mean, the
Mhm.
author agreed to it,
Yeah.
compared to all the other book, I mean, film adaptations.
Mm.
They don't have the author. I mean, the author could have already died or whatnot. Those are old books, but this is a very new book. And
Yeah.
then, the author himself is also there, part of the movie, which is really awesome. But it's just probably, if you're not into, like, if you're not interested with mental illness and religion and what's going on really, in the
Carl
society,
was mentally
then
ill,
I
right? He
Who?
was psychotic.
Arvin?
Carl.
Carl.
Who?
Who's Carl?
Carl's the photographer.
Oh yeah. Oh,
He-
big time.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a psychopath. He's a
He-
serial
he
killer
is.
psychopath.
He is a
Yeah.
psychopath.
Yeah.
But what I
That
don't get is
That-
why, I would say the girl also has this psycho thing, because why would you
Oh yeah, big time.
why would you tolerate your partner?
Yeah.
I mean,
Did they
it's just, she seems enjoying it too.
did they even explain what are they doing with the pictures? Did they sell them?
It's
Oh,
no, it's
yeah,
for
it was.
oh,
It
what?
was explained.
What was it? I missed it.
Actually, after they're taking the photos, they're going to torture the guy, right? And then they're going to kill him. But they're going to kill the person little by little. Like, they want to capture the suffering. Like, he
Okay.
really loves to see how
Yeah.
the
No,
guy
no, I get that part, but what is the reason besides killing them and being psychotic and stuff like that? Do they see
Probably-
any like
Was
I don't
it
know?
for business? Is that what
Yeah.
you're trying to say?
I don't think they're
I think it
selling
was-
them, right? I think they're just doing
No.
it for gratification and
just personal,
Yeah,
just
okay.
gratification. It's
Yeah.
Actually-
there's a part where they said, like, when it has something to do with death and God, like, because once he experiences or sees death, that's the only time he would feel
He's closer to God.
God's presence. Like, in
yeah.
the presence of death is something like that. I forgot the
Yeah,
line,
yeah.
but presence
It was
of death.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
during the
that's
scene
only
where
time he would feel the presence of God.
it was before he just met Arvin. No, I don't think. No, not
Oh,
Roy.
Arvin.
It's the no the
Oh, the
explained
private.
where yes
Isn't the private guy? Yeah, the soldier who's going
Yeah,
to Vietnam. Yeah.
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 So I think Sandy, that's the name of the girl. Sandy probably just gave up. I mean, she seemed like a sweet girl from the very beginning, but now that she learned who her husband is, because they actually got married, or they keep calling themselves husband and wife. But can you guys hear me? I want to make sure I'm clear.
No, we can hear.
Because you saw the scene before she went back into the motel, she was trying to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
She even left a tip to was that a police, I guess she called?
It's her
Yeah.
brother.
After, it's her brother. After they killed the. No,
Oh.
it wasn't her brother because her brother has no idea. So she just called the police and told
Yeah,
them.
the brother only
Oh.
had the
Yeah,
idea after.
yeah.
Oh, I see
he
what you
met
mean.
Roy.
She called the military base because it was a Marine. So I don't know how she got the number, but she was able to call the Marine base and just gave the detail.
Yeah, it
of
was
the-
a Marine, because she said this guy can no longer report because of this and that.
Yeah.
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 You know what I feel about this movie? I feel like the idea and the way they do the scenes, it reminds me of Pulp Fiction. Like everything was. Have you guys seen Pulp Fiction with
No.
Pulp
Yeah,
Fiction?
Samuel L. Jackson, and John Travolta. This is a young Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta, but to you people that's listening and watching this, it kind
Oh,
of
that's
reminds
a
me of,
movie.
yeah, it's a big hit movie. It's from
Oh,
Movie.
yeah, who's the director? What's his name?
um,
He directed Kill Bill, uh Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino. So because it's different, like it's different scenes, uh, and it's kind of gonna get you confused. Like, oh, what's going on now? I'm jumping to this scene, and now it's a different person, and then by the end of the movie,
Right.
they all meet together. It's like, oh, now that makes sense. What's going on?
Yeah, so I guess he's just like building one storyline to how they met,
Yeah.
how they met in between.
Right, right.
And how
Okay.
are they interrelated? But they're not really like related. It's not a this plot is not like, everything's involved in one storyline. It's a you have a story, you also have a different story, but somehow, somewhere you guys intertwine. Like
Right, yeah.
might have it's reality. Like, I could have my own story, you could have your own story, and at some point we have met somewhere,
Right,
Mm.
right.
I
Let's
have
talk
the
about.
line, Phoebe.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, only in the presence of death could he feel the presence of something like God.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of lines, one of the good lines that I love, I had to Google it because I don't remember the word for word, but it says, it's from the narrator. He says that Boddicker believed that people were like dogs. Once they start digging, they don't want to stop.
I remember that one.
Yeah. Once they start
Oh,
digging, they don't want to stop. I like
What's
that.
that?
I
Yeah.
love that.
So
And
let's talk.
it's real.
Oh, big time. Let's talk about the casting of this movie. Like the cast of this movie is,
Excited.
it's
Yeah.
it's great.
And
Yeah, I was gonna say
I-
for someone like sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
It's just that Tom Holland, he did a not bad job for being an Australian dude.
Right. I was about to say that the accent.
Wait,
And
Tom
I don't
Holland
know
is not
if,
Australian. Hold on, he's not Australian.
Isn't he New
He's
Zealand?
American, right?
No, Tom Holland
he?
is from UK.
Right. Sorry.
Oh, so
The
he's
accents are the
British.
same to me.
Okay, he's not Australian. I
Oh,
was
that
just gonna
sounds
say
racist,
he's
doesn't
not
it?
Australian.
British,
He's
makes
UK.
My
Yeah,
bad,
but-
Tom.
Yeah, go
God,
ahead.
it really sounded like someone from West
Now,
Virginia.
okay, all right. Let
Howdy.
me hold you up right here. Okay, because I was gonna talk about this later. I did not like his accent.
You don't like his accent?
I did not like his
okay,
accent. Okay, so here's my
almost
thing.
believe him.
I had to close my eyes because in my head I might be just looking at him as Spider-Man. So I had to close my
Right.
eyes. I had to close my eyes, listen to him.
Awkward.
There are a lot of times that he just sounded like Spider-Man. Like the accent that he had. Okay, his American accent was phenomenal.
Probably is
the first
I don't know.
yeah, the first time I heard him talk in his natural voice, I didn't even know he's from UK. And then he had a strong British accent. And I was
Yeah.
like, wait, I saw him in Captain America Civil War. He had an amazing American accent.
Yes.
But in
Right.
here,
He
no,
did.
I did not like his accent. I
That's
didn't.
why I thought he's American. But I mean, it's hard to pull off like a West Virginia. I don't know
Country-
how you call their accent.
It's a country accent. Trunk. A country.
country
accent.
accent.
But
Yeah.
you
It's
know
so
who
hard to
had
pull it
you
off.
know who had a phenomenal accent? A phenomenal
Twilight guy.
No, not even Tom Pattinson. Which, by the way, Robert Pattinson. So when he got the role, they're all supposed to send a copy of their Southern accent. Only Robert
Oh.
Pattinson didn't send one. On day one of the recording, that was the first time the director heard his voice in Southern accent. So he did a great job with that. But in my opinion, the best person who had a Southern accent was Roy, the
Yes.
spider guy. You know why? Because
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if you guys noticed the first
When
I
he was
first saw
preaching.
him. No, when I first saw him, when I first saw him, I noticed that he was Dudley in Harry Potter.
Yeah. I remember him. He was the guy in Harry Potter.
Remember Dudley, Jed?
He was He was fatter though. He was
Harry
fatter. He was
Potter's
the one with bad
brother,
teeth.
the
Everyone
kid.
bullied him.
Wait, so he was part of the Harry Potter movie?
Yeah, he's the
Harry-
kid, the fat kid in Harry Potter. Have you seen Harry Potter?
Oh my God, yeah.
That was him.
But-
That was him. That was Dudley.
Yeah, he
That
did a
was-
great
Okay,
job.
I
Dudley.
can visualize him.
That was Dudley, and he.
That was already him.
Yes,
Oh,
he has a British accent, but his accent in there was
Right.
phenomenal. Was
For real? It was
phenomenal.
Dudley?
He was Dudley. Look it up.
Oh my God.
His real name is Harry Melling.
Okay, he really is a different person here.
Yep, he lost a lot of weight,
Oh God.
but
Yeah,
that
he
was
did
him.
movies with that new look of his.
Hmm.
I didn't expect this.
Yep.
He was Dudley.
Yep, but he
Oh.
did a great job. Sebastian Stan, which is the sheriff, he has an amazing accent too. But man, I was so blown away with Harry Melling's performance. He was my favorite character, the favorite character in the movie, not the favorite character.
I know
'Cause
what you
his
mean.
character
He
was
played
just
it good.
terrible. Oh my gosh, his character's the worst. But man, the
I know
casting.
he played the role well. Yeah.
Oh, he played the role
Yeah.
well. But the casting of this movie was phenomenal. So Willard, the dad, Arvin's dad, he's it. He's the clown it. The new it,
You gotta be kidding me.
that was
You mean
him.
that- What?
The new
No
it.
way.
Yep, that was him.
No way.
Willard?
No, Willard?
Yes. Yes.
Oh God! You know when I first saw Willard in that film, I was like,
You're right.
"Oh my God, this guy is so charming."
Mhm. He was it. And then
I no longer like him.
Roy's wife, the what's his name?
I forgot his name too. Wait,
Mila.
Willard.
Mia
Willard.
something. Mia
Ooh, what are you talking about?
Roy's wife,
Yeah,
the
Mia
girl,
something.
the girl that
Charlotte. It's her name. Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Charlotte.
No, Helen.
I forgot
It's
his
Helen.
last name.
Charlotte is the daughter. Helen is her mom. So her mom that Roy
Who are
killed.
you talking about? Lenora? You talking
Yeah,
about?
hey, Lenora.
Oh.
Yeah, Lenora. So she is she's Alice in Wonderland, the live action Alice in Wonderland. That was her.
Wait,
Yep,
Lenora?
yep, Lenora. Mia, that was Alice in Wonderland.
Wait a sec.
Are you sure?
Yes,
She looks so different.
she's Alice in Wonderland.
The animated. Which
No,
one? I'm sorry.
no. The live action Alice in Wonderland.
Live action.
Yep, the first one and the second one, of course, because they used the same person.
Okay.
Like
You're talking
Alice.
about
Alice. We're talking
Lenora's
about
mom.
Alice.
Lenora's mom. Lenora's mom.
Helen.
Oh.
Yep,
Her actual
Helen.
name is Mia
Yeah, Lenora's
Wasikowska.
mom. Yeah.
Yep,
She's
not
Alice.
Lenora. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's the one who got stopped here.
yeah.
Helen?
Roy stabbed
Roy's,
her and tried to
wife.
resurrect her.
Yeah.
So and then Theodore, Roy's brother, he's actually a real musician, like a professional musician. But my point is, the casting of this movie was just great. Like look at all these
Right.
actors that they have. You know what I mean? It's just amazing.
All-star cast.
And then Tom Holland and Sebastian Stan were in the Marvel's cinematic universe. Which another trivia, and Jed, you're gonna love this, and I think Wakka will love this too. Supposedly, the original character, the original cast or celebrity that will play Sheriff Lee was Chris Evans, but he couldn't do it because of conflicts. Yep, conflicts of schedules. Yep. So
Oh.
Sebastian Lee,
You mean the brother of this
the brother of Sandy. Yes,
brother of
You
the
mean Buck?
Bucky.
serial
Yeah.
killer
Buck.
couple?
There's Sebastian Stan, the sheriff. Remember the sheriff?
the sheriff
fat
is,
sheriff. That was supposed to
so
be
Was so concerned
Wow.
of his
sister.
reputation and
Yep,
all
as a
because he's
sheriff.
running for
So the original cast was going to be Chris
Evans.
Captain
Yep.
America.
Chris Evans.
Yep.
Oh,
And
God.
but he had some conflicts with his schedule. I think it's another Netflix movie, probably, because there's another Netflix movie. I don't
Yeah,
even
there's
know.
another one that he's in it.
But I think he recommended Sebastian Stan, so he became the sheriff. Which by the way, his performance was great. I liked his performance. Yeah, I really liked his performance.
Yeah,
but-
he did good.
So that blew my mind. I'm like, look at all these cast. It's just it's great, and even the
Yeah,
psychopath, Carl is even a
Famous.
famous, you know,
Yeah,
a famous.
yeah. He's a
um
pop.
he has a good movie.
yeah, he's in the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. He's in there, you know, in Terminator. He has a lot of phenomenal movies.
Your
So
point is, it's not your typical Netflix movie, is it?
no, it's not. So yeah, I was gonna say that this movie. So we've seen a lot of original movies, right, on Netflix.
Hmm.
Netflix original movies. We had the Project Power. We had the Underground Six. We had a lot of movies that we've seen, but in my opinion, this is the best out of all of them, out of all the ones that we've seen. The acting was great. There's not a lot of goofs in this movie. Is It's a all rounded movie, and I felt what do you call this? I felt it was a sad, dark movie, and I felt that
It is
after
a
watching the
very,
movie.
yeah, I'd say this is
That
a really dark movie. It,
Mm-hmm.
it talks so much about what's going on in the real world, the dark side of
Mm-hmm.
the real world.
right.
Um, yeah, and I guess that's the reason why people would say this is a bad movie because it talks. I mean, it focuses on the negative side of the world, and
Yeah.
if you're not a fan of listening to storytelling and narration, then you're not gonna appreciate this because most of the movie fans, they love action. They love to
Well,
like they
nowadays they
want to
do.
see, yes,
Mm-hmm.
stunts and all. But this here, if you I would say like the grown-ups would appreciate this because they love listening to movies. I mean, they're used to listening to stories over the radio, right? So I would appreciate this. Just someone's like
Um,
reading a story.
yeah, a lot of Gen Zs, like here in America, youngins, I think they will appreciate too, because the way it's dark. A lot of young people nowadays, they like dark movies, especially here in America. Um, so
Yeah, and it
yeah.
needs to be something extreme, outside of the norm, outside of the status
Mm-hmm.
quo.
Yeah,
To get the hype that they're looking for. It's like it's your typical movie, this and that, this and that. And plus, whenever you watch a movie with AJ, it never becomes it never becomes a unique movie anymore because he knows the storyline when it comes. Um,
Oh my gosh,
uh,
yes, I do prediction. But which, by the way, Waka, I did not have any expectations when I watched this movie. I just
yeah, this
watch it
movie
plain
I,
was
sight. Yeah.
all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
right. Uh, yes, I've noticed as well. CB always, like that was so predictable. I
Yeah.
had it coming. Like I know
Yeah.
that's going to happen. But with this one, like seriously, I did not expect the scenes in this movie. I guess the only scene that I expected is for Lenora to commit suicide, but
Mm.
I did not expect that she would
Mm-hmm.
change her mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the only, I guess that was the only humor in the movie that I
Mm-hmm.
found,
Yeah.
or maybe
Yeah.
because it's too dark that I haven't noticed the other humors. But the part where it wasn't supposed to be a suicide, like she changed her mind, but she slipped.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, that
That
was
sucked so
It
bad.
sucks
funny,
so
but
bad.
I
Oh
I'm
my
not
gosh.
supposed to be. I mean, you're not supposed to be to laugh about it because she died, but
But
it just
yeah,
happened. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if we would really never know how a person died. I mean, we could just say he committed suicide, she committed suicide, but like the what the narrator said in that, in that scene, he said something like no one would know she wasn't a suicide,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
only
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
The,
like
the-
that. I
I like
mean,
how you ended the narrative. It's like, everything worked out all right
Right.
his narration, because she decided not to, and I'm like, everything will be all right. God knows, or something like that in those lines.
right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Oh,
The narrator said at least she was right in front of God.
right,
After
yeah,
this whole thing. Yeah. But Walker,
her.
what
what
I
were you
wanted,
gonna
it,
say?
it was something like her almighty or her, there's a
Creator.
her God
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Her creator.
she's really devoted. I mean, she
Mm-hmm.
really loved,
mm,
she loved God. So
she was
I
just
mean,
like her
that's,
mom.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love that part. I so love that part.
Her devotion,
um
yeah, it's
yeah,
commendable.
that speaks reality. I mean, we really, we really never know how someone died. I mean, some
Yeah,
could say,
I was just gonna tag on
what
that. It's like
happened?
I could just
Right.
imagine all those who attempted to commit suicide may have been a mistake or an accident
Mm-hmm.
that they probably
Yeah.
didn't want to die.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like by
Right.
the end, they were planning to jump off the bridge, but they're almost there. That they like changed their mind and then they slipped.
With a strong wind, or as they
Right.
slipped.
And
Yeah.
and
I was
and
like,
something happened. But you
dang.
never know though. Even the people who succeeded, harming themselves, no one will ever the whole
Know
reasons
their story.
why. You know what I mean? The whole story.
What's that line, AJ? The dead man
Tells
tells
no
no
tale.
Yep.
tales.
Dead
Yeah,
man tells
Hmm.
no tale. Yep. I heard that
right.
from
And that's true.
where did I
You
hear
can
that?
never tell your story anymore once you die. Um,
Uh
It started. They elaborate the quote from
Captain Jack
Pirates of the
Sparrow.
yeah,
Pirates, yes.
Pirates of the
Yes.
Caribbean.
yeah,
Yes.
Pirate of the
But I
I heard
heard
that.
that saying in a lot of pirate movies, and they will say
yeah.
that dead man tells no
Yep.
tales.
Yep. Yeah, so this movie was great. And when I told
It's
Wakka that
sad.
we're doing this review, I told Wakka, hey, just a heads up, this movie has a lot of psychological. Just it's
Right.
too much
Yeah.
So sick.
psychology. It's just it's
It's so
depressing.
sick.
Yeah, it's depressing, but
It
I
is
don't
really
I
depressing
know, and
and so sad.
I don't even know if the ending was a payoff. I don't know. It's not like a feel good movie. Like, oh my gosh, yes. No, it's not like that. It's like,
Not at all.
No, it
Not at
ended.
all.
It
I
just ended
just
off with him
But
sleeping.
right.
it was like, okay, when you start watching the movie, it'd be like, okay, there's this excitement and there's this like, okay, what's going to happen here? And you have all the curiosity going on in your head. And then when the movie's like starting and going on to you'd be like, oh my god, another sad story, another
Right.
sad story, and another sad
Yeah.
story until it ends. And they were all sad stories. Like how unfortunate it is for Roy, for his mom to die of cancer and for his dog to die because his dad
Mm-hmm.
killed his dog and his dad killed
Oh
I
my
mean
gosh.
himself.
Right.
He, okay, and
Uh,
yeah, and this is another slap about the what's going on in the real world, like how your childhood experience can affect your your mentality, your attitude. Like his is not that religious compared to his grandmother and his
And
father,
yeah.
right? Because it was like, and he grew up hating his father.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when but deep down he loves his father, but and he even copies his father's line, there's a lot of no good sons of
People.
bitches.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
he kept
Yeah.
saying that in the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, but I mean, like how childhood trauma can affect your life. Like, look how he turned out. I mean, he could just kill someone. He killed the
Mm-hmm.
preacher without a
You know,
second thought.
which by the way, in that whole scene of him killing, I think the only mistake that he did was the killing of the preacher. Even though yes, it's I mean,
Right. 'Cause-
dude, if someone did something with my daughters or siblings or anybody my close friends, I probably would do the same thing. Like I'm gonna be honest, I probably will beat up that person, and do harm.
yeah,
But
but
it's
not
still,
killing the
yeah, it's
person.
it's still wrong. The other two or the other three killings, I would say, they're
It's
all self
understandable.
defense.
The
Yeah,
other
they're all
three.
self
Yeah,
defense.
right.
With with Carl, Sandy,
That
and
I would
yeah,
understand.
and the sheriff. Those were all, in my opinion, they were all self defense. Um, but man,
Mm.
this movie was just too much.
But
It's
Carl's killing were intentional, wasn't it?
no, it's
It's
self defense because
no,
he knew something's about to happen because he had a gun. He saw the gun.
yeah.
Well, in that whole scene, but his background is that he's a serial killer. I mean,
Right.
like he's been.
Oh,
No, no,
Carl's killing is intentional. I
yeah,
mean,
right.
how Roy killed Carl
No, no,
wasn't
not Roy.
intentional.
Arvin. How Arvin
Oh,
killed
Arvin. Sorry,
Arvin.
Arvin. Yeah, Arvin killed Carl, the wife of Carl,
Sandy.
or
Yeah.
I don't know
I
if
feel
they're
bad for Sandy though.
really.
Mm-hmm.
married. But
Because
yeah,
the narrator
the
was like
couple,
telling about her, Sandy, how it was she was thinking of wanting to get rid of him, her husband.
right? But okay, that I don't understand. Because was it what's the name? Sandy?
Sandy,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sandy, the wife.
Okay, Sandy. I'm confused of what Sandy really wants in this film. Like she hated what her partner is doing, but once they're out there and they're doing it, it seems like she's liking it. You know, when they're
Well,
when
don't forget, Carl has a gun. Carl
Right.
has a gun. She
yeah,
might have
she
just
also
went
has a
with it,
gun. I mean, she
Or
could
but in her
always run
purse.
away.
or she can be bipolar. I mean, both of them were psychotic. Like we can all agree with that,
That's possible.
right?
Yeah, she could be bipolar.
Or she has this
I think
what
she
do you,
just got fed up with him, and
oh
she just
yeah,
went with it.
oh yeah, oh yeah, and it's just crazy because I know for sure if Sandy knew all along what Arvin or Tom Holland was about to do, she wouldn't have
She wouldn't have gone.
pulled the gun. Yeah, she wouldn't have pulled the gun. She would have been, oh, that's
Right.
fine. I'm okay. Let's go. You know, we're gonna drive together and leave this body alone. But I think she's panicking and freaking out. Like this, I don't know this person, and he just shot the person that I know. So I need to shoot you because I don't want to die. And but she shouldn't have died. That's the point. She shouldn't have died. But that
Did you
whole
guys see the cockroach?
no. So okay. So the
From my
whole
tape.
It crawled here.
oh my gosh, you start
Oh.
freaking out. So the only scene that threw me off was when they first introduced us to Carl and Sandy and Roy. That whole scene threw me off. I'm like, wait, what the heck is going on? Wait, he wanted Roy to have sex with her? Like, wait, what?
I
Arvin.
No, Roy.
No, I'm confused.
No, Roy.
Arvin.
you talking about in the beginning how they
In the
Oh,
beginning,
yeah, Roy
yeah.
was there too. Oh
Right.
my god, yeah.
Because Carl shot him. Yeah.
so
Like, Roy
Roy
was the
saw his
first
wife,
guy.
Carl.
I just remember Roy was the first guy where we then I mean the couple were introduced of
Yeah.
what they really are.
Yep.
I mean that wasn't their introduction because the introduction was when
They were in the
met.
diner. Yeah.
Yeah, they all met in the
Their
diner.
But
plan.
how they or what they really are.
How they live their life.
What were you gonna say,
Yeah.
Wakka?
How it was just an introduction to how. Oh well, I was just tagging along with what Jed was saying, but this movie, because I was gonna say it just happened to be a small world for them because they were all connected at the same time. They didn't know until they were to find out. I don't know if you guys seen the movie with Brad Pitt with the movie called Babel.
No,
Basically,
we've seen it.
the concept of the movie is basically everyone's connected. Like basically someone shot in the movie Brad Pitt's wife while they were on the bus, but it was trying to tell it back of who shot the gun, of where the gun came from, who it was connected to. It was showing how they were all connect. Though in different worlds, they were connected. And in this movie, it was the same way. Like you just brought up those guys in the
Already a
dining.
lot of movies like that. Like, you know, you will just realize how they were all connected. Yeah.
I mean, us viewers, we know it's all somehow connected, but they don't. Like they were in the diner. Willard.
But this one, it's during the introduction. I mean, the first part of the movie. Somehow the narrator already gave us the idea that these people are connected. I mean, and it's likely to happen because they're in one small community, right? It all happened in this small community, like how the narrator said. Little did they know that this guy is going to meet his soon-to-be wife, or that's going to be his wife, and then Carl right there is also meeting his future wife, right? Because Carl met Sandy from the same diner where Willard met Charlotte. So it's
Yeah. Okay. Let me get this straight. So Willard and Arvin used to live in West Virginia, right?
Yeah.
But where
Yes.
is the preacher lives? Like that whole community, like that city. Is that Ohio?
Um, the city
What
is
what's the
something
name?
creek, Cold Creek or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Is that
It's
is
a
that in
weird name.
Ohio?
No, that's in West Virginia. Ohio, the story that happens in Ohio is Mead. The city is called Mead.
Yeah, what happened in Mead?
Um, and that's where that's the dining.
Oh, the diner is in Mead.
Yeah, what's his name? Willard, Arvin's dad
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
was
After the war.
yeah, that's where they dropped off,
Okay.
and his uncle came to pick him up.
Okay, so nonetheless, the preacher's city and where they used to live is still two different cities, right? Because it was a long drive, kind of distance, right? Because when Arvin drove, it was at night, and then he ran out of gas, or his car broke down. But it was still a long drive. Now my
Oh, Arvin
question
was
is,
what?
yeah, my
Okay, go
question.
ahead.
The problem that I had was that was not the sheriff's jurisdiction. How come he's getting all that phone calls about him or getting involved with this whole thing? You know, especially after I know how he's involved with Sandy and Carl, because you know Sandy's, you know, his sister. But how come they reported the death of the preacher too?
No, this is all happening in that city, in that small little town.
No, I don't think so, because that was a long drive going from after he killed the preacher, and then he decided to drive back to his old house, and then his car broke
Right.
down.
It is a long drive. It's a 10-hour drive.
But that's not a whole city. That's a whole, like, two different you know what I mean?
Yep.
I see what you mean. This is this is two different state.
Yeah. No, not
So I
state,
think-
but it's still this one state. But your city can't be that big that it's 10 hours, you know, like
Where
Yeah, go ahead.
where is this because we have Mead, right? Mead, Ohio is where
the diner is. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Is it also where the grandmother lives?
Mm-mm. Nope.
No.
The grandma lives with where the preachers or the cemetery were at. That's a totally different city.
Wait. So okay, so it's not just I'm only thinking about where the grandmother lives and where did Willard and his family, because they
Used to live, yeah.
they lived somewhere, right?
Yep.
And that's where Arvin is going back.
Yep.
Okay,
Because he
I'm
wanted
just
to see the prayer log,
Right.
right?
okay. I see
So
the
we
confusion.
have
We're
Mead.
missing a city.
Yeah, there's three.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the name of the city is
diner?
Knockemstiff.
Knock'em Stiff is
Yes,
what?
that's where Arvin and Willard and his family
used to live. Okay.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How about where the
the
grandma
grandmother.
Grandma
The
lives in
priest-
Cold Creek.
Cold Creek? Okay, so that's a totally different jurisdiction of the sheriff. Though how
Yes,
come
it
he's
is.
totally involved with even
with
the preacher?
all of,
Yeah.
and he went to the. Okay, he. The,
Wasn't he the sheriff in that
was
city?
there on-
He was
went
sheriff
to
on
Or in that
the
town?
he was sheriff in the town where Willard and Arvin used to live. He's a sheriff there.
So he was there when was he the same sheriff when Willard killed himself?
Yeah, he was the same sheriff who picked up Arvin.
So-
Yeah. It's probably a promotion because that was like 7 years later.
No. It's the same thing because he was. I remember that whole scene. That whole scene before he got the radio call. He was with a girl and doing the handy. He said, we're gonna be legal. We're gonna be in public once I get
Yeah. Oh,
my sheriff."
I remember that one.
Yep.
right.
He probably was just
So-
there.
He's there
Hmm.
where Arvin and his family used to live. I mean, where the prayer log is. And where are the other places he was?
No, the Knockin' Stiff would be the
It's
first
in.
one where they used to live, right? So he has that
Yeah.
whole jurisdiction in there because I assume he's a sheriff there. But the preacher and the grandma, that's a totally separate city, and he does not have
he
any.
there?
No.
Not only
They
a
called
separate
him
city, they were in a
after.
separate state.
Yeah. Oh, really? Where is
Yeah.
that? Where's that
No,
place?
Cold Creek is in West Virginia,
Where's Knock'em Stiff?
and Knockemstiff is from Ohio.
Oh, okay, okay. So totally different
So we
state.
just have
But
Ohio and
yeah, but the point that I'm trying to make is why when the preacher
Is he
was
there?
killed, no, he wasn't there. But when the preacher was killed, they reported and they told him
Oh,
that the preacher was killed.
it's because it's outside of his jurisdiction. They
Mm-hmm.
reported to him. I think he is um, a sheriff in Ohio
Mm-hmm.
because
or probably because they already know who's the suspect. I mean, he was already after
exactly that's what I'm trying to say. So it's because
that.
they know the
He was
suspect.
already after Arvin, and he knows Arvin personally.
Yeah, pretty
He was
much what
looking for
Jed
Arvin.
is saying. So what happened is that it's I guess it's a cop thing. It's like hey look,
That's why he said I did not like, and then that's why Arvin explained to the sheriff why he killed the preacher, but he didn't know that the couple that he just killed as well, the girl there was the sheriff's sister too. But
Mm-hmm.
he thought that the sheriff was after him because of the preacher, because the sheriff
No,
knows
no,
him
no,
personally.
no. He knew. He knew when he
he
got
knew.
there. He knew that
So
it was his sister. Because remember
to
that
answer,
Not
old,
yet.
yeah, yeah.
Not
No, no,
yet.
no. He did. Because when he got off, remember that old guy that when he was a kid who gave him a drink. The old
yeah,
guy told him, "Oh, the sheriff's sister got killed,
yeah. Do you
and
remember when
her husband,
Arvin just
Oh,
arrived?
yeah, just arrived." And then he started freaking out, so he started walking back to his
I
house.
see.
Yep.
I
So
see.
he
Yeah.
knew all along,
But
at
to
least on
answer
that point.
AJ's question, I think it was just a courtesy call to let the area know, hey, look, a criminal left our areas now
Mm.
in your area,
Right.
so just a heads
Right.
up
Yeah.
on that.
That makes sense. Okay, all right. Well, because in my head it's like why he's so involved with this whole thing, but it makes sense now. Um, yeah, that whole man. All I'm gonna say, this movie it wasn't the best movie. Okay, it wasn't the best movie. I don't think I don't know. I might be wrong, but I don't think I've seen any movie as heavy as this. Where I'm like,
Right.
It
yo, I don't
It's
want
was
just it's so heavy
to.
to
Yeah,
take in. I
actually
mean, there's too many things,
right.
bad things going on in this movie.
It's not even scary or nor suspense. This is just
It's
psycho.
bad.
Oh,
It's
it's
like I
psycho.
said, it
heavy.
irritated me. It just, I mean, a
Right.
lot of things was going on in this movie in terms
Mm-hmm.
of religion, in terms of
Right.
ignorance, in terms of um, lack of knowledge or lack of resources. I mean, like if we were to compare country and city, it's totally different. They don't know the news other than the radio. But then again, I had to account that this is back in the 60s and the 70s, so
Mm-hmm.
not many things out there. Um, so people go by rumors, go by what this person say, what that person say, and then it just builds up a whole rumor tree, and there goes the
Yeah.
Christmas tree.
There goes the Christmas tree. Um, you guys have any final thoughts about this movie? Anything that you want to say or add? Oh, I have a final thought. I do not. I just confirmed after watching this movie. Okay, I'm so sorry to all his fans. After watching this movie, I can confirm that I do not like Robert Pattinson as an actor. I do not like him. Maybe Batman can revive him. Because I saw bits and pieces of the teaser and I kind of like it, but I do not like him as an actor. I don't.
I
I
have an
just
opposite
not
feel.
not because okay, hold on. Not because he's a horrible actor, but the characters that he plays, I don't like him. So
Yeah, he didn't play his preacher side.
nope.
Uh,
Not even when he was in Harry Potter. I did not like Diggory. So Cedric Diggory. I did not. I don't.
Yeah.
And we're not even gonna talk about Twilight.
If you're on a rest day, or if you just wanna, be entertained, don't watch this film.
Don't watch the show.
Don't watch this film. You're gonna
Yeah.
waste your what is it, a 2 hour film? You're gonna waste your time.
Yep.
But if you're just bored with your life and you got nothing to do, then yeah, you might want to watch this. If you have all the time in the world and you're just too bored and you have nothing else to do with your life, then you can watch this.
Yeah. No, Tom Holland did a great job in this movie, and all of them actually.
Yeah, they all did
Yeah.
good. It's
I
just
don't
that the story
right.
is not gonna give you that relaxing feeling, or
It
it's not gonna give you a good mood at all.
yeah. And I assume that before you listen to this this podcast or watch this podcast that you've already seen the movie. Um But if not, well, we just gave you a ton of spoilers. I'm sorry. So okay, so yeah, I don't have any least favorite character in this movie. I like all of them. I think they played the character well.
Yeah, they all did well.
Yeah, they did. So I don't have any other final thoughts, but I would recommend it. Like what Jed said earlier, if you're gonna watch this movie. Like sit down and watch this movie, cause
Right. Don't do
you're gonna get
anything.
yeah you're gonna get lost. Like seriously, like you
Yeah,
don't even
like
know
what I
what's
said,
gonna
if you're
happen
not
next.
busy,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not busy, if you have the whole time in the world, then you can watch it.
Yep.
But if you're in a hurry and you just want to, have or relax out of a long work week, then don't watch this.
Yeah.
It's not a good mood movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of jumping scenes, not like jumping scare, but jumping scenes. Like, oh, what's going on now? Like, wait, what? Who's this guy?
Right.
Like,
You
wait,
gotta
what's going on?
concentrate and
Yeah, you gotta
focus
concentrate. So
for you to
yeah,
stitch the story together.
how would you rate this movie in a Netflix original sense, not necessarily in like in a
Oh,
movie
in a
in general.
Original. Netflix original. Um, well, I would say like about I like the fact that it's it's all-star casting
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so that I really love. I would say for Netflix original, I'd go for 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would go for eight and a
but
half too. Yeah, eight and a
yeah,
half.
because it's Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
and Netflix is more about the story, not really like the stunts and all.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to like compare it to all the other movies, or if you're gonna base it like entertainment wise, then I'd go for 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't really entertaining.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
if you're going through depression, if you're going to mental illness, don't watch this. It's just gonna trigger you.
Right.
Your
Yeah, the
psycho
movie
side.
doesn't pay. And maybe this is your taste. If this is your taste, you're probably gonna give this. Oh, this is a phenomenal
Oh
movie.
yeah, if you're morbid, yeah.
Right. But this is not. It's just not our taste. It's a movie that maybe we would watch, but it's not the type of movie that we're gonna be rewatching. You know what I mean? Like
But seriously, if
okay.
someone is depressed and they're gonna watch this movie, I think they would be
Yeah,
more
you're gonna
depressed.
be more depressed. It's not an enlightening, uplifting movie. So to all
Not at
the
all.
to all
It's
my
the opposite of a
right to all my millennials who used to be emos, this is your movie. You know what I mean? Like we've been in that phase of our lives before. You know, when we were in high school, the
right.
emo
If you
phase.
appreciate dark stories,
Yep, this is our emo phase. And maybe you're a big
the
fan of
emo
Tom
phase,
Holland, and you just wanna ignore the fact that this movie is depressing. Then this is for you. So
yeah.
enjoy it. So Jed, do you have anything else you want to say? And if there's none,
Oh,
yeah, go
if
ahead.
you're a Twilight fan,
This movie is
if you're
gonna.
a Twilight fan, don't watch this.
Yep. No.
It's gonna change. It's
Yep.
gonna change how you look at
It's gonna ruin your life.
what's his name in Twilight? The
Edward.
Cullen
Edward.
guy, Edward Cullen. Yeah, this is definitely gonna turn you down. So
Yep. He doesn't sparkle in this movie. Yeah, it's a great movie.
oh,
And Dudley, the guy Roy was there, and he was great. He was great.
and
So
his appetite is different here.
yes, that's right. That's right. He looks
He
really
doesn't
good.
he doesn't eat blood or anything.
Okay, Jed, where can people find you in the social world?
Facebook. Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. I'm no longer active on IG or any other social media sites. Yeah, I still have my accounts, but I no longer use them. With my TikTok account, oh, you'd be upset. It's just my boyfriend using it. Yes, this
I've
video.
seen them. They're funny. They're funny.
Oh God, I was really laughing out loud. I was like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you posting it in my account?
No, they're
That's
great.
so embarrassing. Anyway, yeah, just go look up my name on Facebook, but you can also type. Have I changed it to Jed90? Yeah, you can, I guess. But yeah, just type my name, Jedediah Bolantero, and you'll find me on Facebook.
That's right. And I'm Captain Bug, CB, AJ. Ooh, my name didn't change. It's Kuya AJ now. It was Captain Bug. Yeah, yeah. But you guys can find me on the Gum Fam Show. That's the Gum Fam Show. Facebook, IG, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Oh, I just said Instagram, LinkedIn, and all that good stuff. And also, you guys can follow the Maximum Filipino Show, on all the social network. Like seriously, just find the Maximum Filipino Show. You guys are gonna find us. If you're listening to this, we have a YouTube account, and you guys can watch all these conversations and see our faces. If you are watching it on YouTube and you want to listen to this, you guys can go to your favorite podcast. Make sure to rate us, like us, and tell your friends about us. We will definitely appreciate that. You guys can also email us at the maximumfilipino@gmail.com if there's any suggestions, any things that you guys want us to talk about, and if you want to be part as a guest of our show, just email us.
Always welcome to join us.
That's right. And lastly, if you guys want to support us, we have a Patreon account. It's patreon.com slash TMFS official. You guys can support us. Anything that you want to do to help us, we will totally appreciate that. And we can give you not private, but a special plug, as a VIP of the Maximum Filipino Show. So that was a long blabbering.
Review.
Yeah, it was a great review. I like it. I like a review. But anyway, to me, Captain Bug, to Wakka, who just left, and to Jed, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you and being here again, and hopefully you won't be gone, because I kind of missed you.
Yeah.
Look at us being original. Stop saying yuck. Come on, man. We're friends. We're like,
It's just your facial expression doesn't match the sincerity of your voice,
because I was picking on you all the time, and now I'm being sincere, and you don't want to believe me. Like, you always complain that I pick on you. Now that I'm being for real, you're like,
Because it just doesn't sound right.
Okay, whatever. But anyway, we'll see you guys later. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.